Eddie and the car. The stupidest thing I've ever done happened in France. We were going to have a picnic, so we were driving along the road in our little yellow Renault 4. Have you ever seen a Renault 4? It's like a square tin box. If you lean on it, the walls are so thin, your hand goes straight through the side of the car. We were off to have a picnic. Have you noticed how long it takes parents to make up their minds where to stop for a picnic? It takes us longer to find where to have the picnic than it takes to eat it. We stop, we get out, we spread the sheet, we unload the boxes, and bags, and bottles, we sit down and it's... What's that? What on earth does it smell like that? A dead dog? Okay, everyone, back in the car, drive on. We stop, we get out, we spread the sheet, we unload the boxes and bags and bottles, we sit down and it's... Wasps, hundreds of them. Okay, everyone, back in the car. Wasps, hundreds of them. Okay, everyone, back in the car. Everyone, back in the car. In the end, we got to this perfect place. Backed the car up a little slope, laid everything on the ground, sat down. Eddie, do you want some chicken? No. Eddie, do you want some crisps? A drink? No. Right, well, you toddle off and leave us to eat in peace. So Eddie, who was 3 years old at the time, walked off to the car and got into the back seat. He looked out the window and called out, "Look at me! I'm in the bed! Look at me! Bed. I'm in the car!" Joe, who was 7, looks over and starts giggling back at Eddie. "Look at Eddie, Dad," says Joe. "Turn round, Joe. Don't take any notice of it. It only encourages him. Turn round." Then Eddie climbed into the front seat of the car. He grabbed hold of the steering wheel and shouted out at us, "Look at me! I'm driving!" And Joe says, "Look at Eddie, Dad. He's driving." I say, "Turn round, Joe. Don't take any notice of it. It only encourages him. Turn round." We went on eating. Then Joe looked up and said, "Dad, the car's moving." I said, "Don't be silly, Joe." And I turned round to look at the car. He was right. The car was moving slowly down the slope towards the road with Eddie at the wheel. He's screaming, "The car's moving! The car's moving!" Now, if you were a sensible, intelligent person at this moment, you might perhaps go over to the car, open the door, get Eddie out, jump in, jam on the brakes, and stop the car. That would be the sensible thing to do. Slightly less sensible, but still quite sensible, would be to go over to the car, open the door, get Eddie out, close the door, and wave goodbye to the car. At least Eddie would be safe. What I did was try to stop the car. I rushed over and grabbed hold of the pillar between the two doors and tried to stop the car going down the slope. Eddie was screaming out the window, "The car's moving!" And I'm grunting back at him, "I know it's moving." All the time the car is moving down the slope and I'm hanging on. On the roof of the car is a tray of peaches. So Joe is calling out, "Dad, look at the peaches. The peaches are flying off the roof of the car." And I'm saying, "Never mind the peaches." And Eddie is shouting, "The car's moving." I know it's moving. Now, I know that what we've got coming up next is the road. So I think it'll be flatter there. The car will slow down. I'll be able to stop the car. We get to the road. The car doesn't slow down. I am not able to stop the car. "Dad, look at the peaches." "Never mind the peaches. The car's moving." I know it's moving. We are now heading for a 12-foot ditch. The car nosedives down the ditch with me still hanging on. It bounces once, twice on its nose and lands up stuck headfirst in a hedge with its wheels spinning in midair. I opened the door, grabbed hold of Eddie, got him out, and he jumped into his mother's arms and bit her. he sunk his teeth right into her arm. Joe is walking around saying, "Look at the peaches! Yeah, look at the peaches!" Eddie is okay. Now to get the car out of the hedge. Get in, start up, into reverse, and nothing. The little yellow Renault 4 has front wheel drive. The front wheels are turning over and over and over in midair, and nothing else is moving. What to do? I got out of the car and looked around. There's no one anywhere. We're in the middle of the French countryside. We're stuck in a hedge miles from home. Then I looked again. And up the road, I could see in a field someone's backside. A man was bending down, digging potatoes. So I ran up the road and I spoke to him. "Excusez-moi, monsieur, je suis anglais, je suis stupide." I'm English and I'm stupid. And my little boy got on the front seat of the car and the car went down the hill and it stuck. The man stood up and slowly wagged his finger at me. "Jamais, jamais, jamais, never, 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 never let a child onto the front seat of a car. They can easily..." "Yeah, I know that now," I said, "but how do I get the car out?" He then raised both hands by his side and said, "Bof." This is French for, "I haven't got a clue, you're on your own, mate. Try it. Look, raise both hands by your side, hands upwards, and as you said, you puff your cheeks out. Bof." So now what? Far away in the distance, I see a man ploughing a field. So I started off, running up the road towards him. And as I'm running along, I start to realise that I am only wearing my underpants. When we had the picnic, I thought that I would sunbathe, so here I am, running down the road in my underpants. No matter, must press on. As I got nearer to the field where the man was ploughing, I started thinking, how do you get someone to stop? How do you get someone to stop ploughing a field? So I climbed over the fence and stood in front of the tractor, held up both my hands and started waving. Seen a large hairy bloke in his underpants standing in front of his tractor waving his hands. He brought the tractor up to me and he said, "Eh ben?" which is French for, "Well, have you got something to say or not, or are you completely stupid?" As you said, you have to nod your head upwards, leaving your mouth open after you said it. The "ben" bit sounds a bit like bang, doesn't it? Say it through your nose. "Eh ben?" So I said, "Excusez-moi, monsieur, je suis anglais, je suis stupide. I'm English and I'm stupid. And my little boy got on the front seat of the car and the car went down the hill and it stuck." The man looked at me and slowly wagged his finger at me and said, "Jamais, jamais, jamais, never, never, never let a child get in the front seat of a car because they can easily..." Yeah. No, I know that now, but do you think you could help me? I could pay you. It would be very nice if... So, 3 hours later, after he had lunch, he came along with his tractor, his wife, his dog, and a long chain. They tied the chain round the back bumper of the car and they pulled and they heaved and they heaved and they pulled, just like the story of the enormous turnip, and they pulled and they heaved the bumper right off the car. Thanks. Well, in the end, they got the little yellow Renault 4 out of the bush and out of the ditch, and after we kicked it a few times, it worked. Kicked it a few times, it worked. It was a little bit difficult going around corners, but it worked. We've got a photo of the little yellow Renault 4 stuck in the ditch in our photo album. It's great. It reminds me of the stupidest thing I've ever done.